Hey guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. It's our coffee break time. Today, I'm gonna talk about some heavier topic, but because I think I can only answer that question based on my personal opinion. So that's why I decided to put it on Friday and, have a little discussion or sharing my personal experience with you guys. So anyway, before I start, my name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Before I start, today I want to talk about why do we have hard time forgiving someone. But before I start, I want to share just a comment from my blog. And, I believe this is majority's question people have toward me, right? So that's why I'm going to use her as example. So basically what she say is she had a lot of experience that's same as me. So after listen to my episode of We Choose Our Own Parents, she started feeling sad because she's very clearly understand she had love to her parents, and she also know her parents have tried everything they can. But it seems like she continues feeling unfair, or justice. She have a strong feeling toward this, and it seems to embed it in her subconscious because she cannot accept the love from parents nor love from other people, and she cannot give out love either. So the past couple years, obviously her parents had been suffering through some severe cancer disease. So she was guided by some teacher, and then she's working on her homework. So internally she feel more peaceful. And the teacher who tell her that every moment everybody have their own karma and she had to learn to let it go. So she said the past couple of days she listened to the section that I talk about regarding to death, and this is a moment she started to think again. When she was the most helpless or yelled in the period of time in her life, the pain that her parents abandoned really hurts a lot, I guess. So even though she already tried 20 years of her life, but she feel at this moment where she is right now, she still cannot really learn to let it go and forgive that. Okay, the reason I share her story just because I do receive a lot of those kind of story, like what I see is really, it sums it up what I encounter most of the time, right? Like people tend to dealing with, especially family, that we have hard time forgiving our family. It seems that we have no problem forgiving people like me, or people who come in and out our life. But when it comes to our family, we have hard time forgiving what they have done to us. You know what I mean? So here, I can only share my experience. That's why I choose coffee break to share with you guys. I've gone through really tough childhood. If I can talk about it. I mean, sure enough, I can. If I would really want to allow myself to become a victim, I can talk about it every day, and it would never end. Because just a background is I was sick all the time, and I was abandoned by both parents, not just one or another, both of them. So I was always living from relative to relatives, right? So when you're living in relatives' house, I was physically abused and I was mentally abused. And not to mention, that low self-esteem when you go to school and you thinking that everything's wrong with you, that's why people choose to abandon you. So really, I got bullied all the time too when I was in school, right? So not to mention you grow up to an adulthood, I trying really hard to fight my own illness, to be strong, and then to act tough, to do whatever I do, right? I'm still continuously running into people who just did me wrong or something. If you understand where I come from, you will understand I'm basically a child. Based on that environment, believing nobody likes me or love me, I will have a tendency to try to please people. I mean, I will try to, hey, you know what? I just realized something very important. I better go attending it before I burn my house. I mean, I actually leave the stove on. Okay, this is thank God it's an alarm. So kids, if you guys are watching this, don't do that, okay? Don't ever leave the stove unattended. I'm just give you an example like what you should never do. But anyway, back to my topic. Sorry about that. Back to my topic is, if you understand anybody who come up with that kind of background, so we will have a tendency to always please people. Please people, settle way or non-settle way, put it aside, but we will try our best to accommodate people. So a lot of time we will go out of our way to accommodate someone, or, you know, anyway, what I'm saying is we very often neglect our own feeling, and so we can accommodate people. But what people did not realize is because we do this in such a regular basis, people start to assume that's part of us. That's not really truly who we are. But just because we do it in such a regular basis, and people just take it for granted, they just assume we are very accommodating. You know what I mean? So it's not until in the past, I do have to be thankful of this whole psychic journey, just because it got me to understand things in so many different levels. I guess that's also why today I choose to share with you guys little by little, because that's how I learn, and that's how I expect you guys to, you know, understand as well, right? So it's not until later on in the psychic journal, you know, sure enough, when I was younger, people always say those people come to your life for a reason. I can see so many saying out there. They say, you know, you have to learn to let it go, and you have to learn to forgive them. You have to learn to do, you know, blah blah blah. I mean, come on, we all know what they say, right? But we always feel they don't know because they never feel the pain those people are creating us. You know, because it really hurt us. We come to a point we're probably in the position we are so belittled that we actually don't trust our own value and things like that. That's how those people hurt us, right? So when the third party come and tell us and say, you know, just learn to let it go, we are often in struggle. How do you ask me to let this pain go, right? Because it was so real. It pretty much is there all the time. How can I let it go? You know what I mean? So it's not until this whole psychic journey began, and I start to look at things in a different perspective. That is, sad story, we never learn unless we're dealing with obstacle, right? Because when we're in happy moment, we don't really learn much. That is the ugly truth. So in order for us to grow, right, we plan certain tasks in our life so we can evolve from it. Now, if I pull myself out of I was a victim, right, situation, and simply step back and think about, okay, why would I choose this? Because at the first, I tell you already, when my higher spirits try to show me the concept, you choose your parents, I have the biggest, hardest time accepting this, because, you know, why would I understand I choose one shitty parents, but why would I choose a pair? You know what I mean? So you will understand I have a hard time accepting this. And then not to mention all those people I'm dealing with, right? So what I try to say is, it took me a really long time for me to understand why do I have a hard time to forgive them. The reason, I used to believe the reason I have a hard time to forgive them is because the pain I suffer, and I want them to feel the same, or I want them to know what have they done to me, or I want them to know how they destroyed me. You know what I mean? And no matter what I did and what I did, they were never even close to what have they put upon me, right? So I thought what stopped me from forgiving them is actually my pain. But after understanding things a little bit better, I start to realize it comes back to a very simple question. Do I like who I am today? I do. You know, I love who I am today. If not for them, I would never learn to draw my boundary. You know what I mean? If not for them, I would never stand up and speak for myself. If not for them, I will never know this is what I want, who I want to be. You know what I mean? So in some regard, I do have to thank them. Thank them for happening in my life. Because of you exist in my life, that's why I got to become who I am today, right? But the reason we resist to forgive them is because we somehow believe by forgiving them, we have to accepting them. We have to welcome them into our life again. This is why I want to tell you, it took me a long time to realize that the idea of accepting this unacceptable behavior back into my life is what I have resistance to. It's not what they did to me already, because I'm happy where I am right now. If you didn't abandon me, I would not learn to be strong. You know what I mean? So I am where I am. I accept what already happened to me, right? But really, the truth is, if I accept that behavior and happen in my life again, I am an idiot, and I will not allow myself to do it. That's why at that point, I noticed I'm not really fighting against my pain. What I'm really fighting against is I'm fighting against to become an idiot again. You know what I mean? So what I really want to share with you guys is, just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to accept them back in your life again. You know what I mean? You forgive this event, this thing happened, you know, this something that happened in your life to bring you to where you are, who you are again. But does that mean you will accept this behavior, unacceptable behavior in your life again? No, you don't have to, because just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to accept them. That's what I want to share with you guys, and I can only share with you guys from my personal opinion, because you know, if you want to know what stops you from forgiving, because that illusion of you have to accept them is exactly what's stopping you from forgiving someone. But really, guys, sit back. If you like who you are right now, right? If you think you have gone so long, if you think you have endured so much pain and then worked so hard on yourself to come to where you are right now, and you know what you want in your life, thank them for making that happen to you. Because without them, you will not become who you are today, right? But does that mean you have to accept that crap back in your life again? No. Unless they step up and meet up to your standard, you will always have a choice to ask them to step out of your life, and then you will always have a choice of that. You know what I mean? Don't let the idea of believing you have no choice at all. You always do. You always do. No matter what kind of title they crown on themselves. They can call themselves your dad. They can call themselves your mom. They can call themselves whatever. If they don't respect you, let it go. You have choice to step out of it. You know what I mean? Or they simply have to work within themselves, step up to meet your standard. You accept, you forgive what they were done to you, but that doesn't mean they could continue doing this to you. You know, because that's exactly how I feel. I forgive what you done to me. Believe me or not, I did. I forgive what my dad done to me, my mom did to me, all those relatives who exercise all this physical abuse on me, mentally abusive, verbally abuse on me, or even all those friends who bully me all the way through the school. Or, you know, you guys probably know I got a lot of people who, you know, even this issue I'm dealing with right now. You know what, guys? I forgive you, and I truly mean it. For what already happened till this point, I forgive what you were done to me. But does that mean I accept you to not step up, meet my standard, and do that again to me? No. Very simple. Why? Because I'm not an idiot. Doing one mistake is one thing too, not to mention I already make so many. When I was a kid, I was vulnerable. I'm not able to fight for myself. But today you will see I have gone a long way. And I become a stronger person that I always want to be. So if you ever lay a hand of me, I will show you that thing will never happen. And because I feel so strong within myself, and I know I have the power to protect myself, that's why I am here forgiving you. Why? Because I am no longer that weak person like you used to hurt me with, no matter what it is. Language, word, physical, I'm no longer that person. I have gone a long way, make me a strong person, that I have every ability to protect myself from people like you. So therefore, you know what? I forgive you. So anyway, just a quickly sharing with you guys to let you know if you struggle with forgiving someone. Very simple. That's because in your mind, you are struggling with one thing. You are convincing yourself by forgiving someone, what they've done to you, that means you accepting that behavior back into your life. You will allow them to do that again. I'm just simply here sharing with you with my personal opinion. You don't have to, because it's very simple. Just because you're forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to accept that behavior back in your life again. So anyway, that's just my Friday coffee talk. I'm happy it's out of my chest. But anyway, just a little, personal opinion to share with you guys. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Periscope, or go to my Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel, or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.